iyam visrushtiryata ababhuva yadiva dadhe yadivana yo asya jaksha parame vyomanso angam veda yadivana veda. Hello everyone, welcome back to Civilizational Bridge. It has been a while getting back on track with Valmiki Ramayana. This Sarga 6, I did an episode earlier where I just did the rendition of all the slokas in one go. This Sarga is about the people of Ayodhya under King Dasharatha's rule, a place of prosperity, happiness and righteousness, what it might have been or the idea of what it meant and what it could be again for everyone, irrespective of religion, caste or creed. Remember, there was no concept of religion back then. It was just about following dharma, the path of righteousness given a situation. Here I am going to go through a few verses and then at a logical point narrate the meaning of those verses. Then go to the next set of verses, so on and so forth. Let's go. Tasyam puryam ayodhyayam vedavit sarvasangraha dirghadarshi mahatejah paurajanapada priyaha ikshvakunamatiratho yajva dharmarato vasi maharshi kalpo rajarshi trishu lokeshu visrutah बलवान निहता मित्रो मित्रवान विजितेन्द्रियः धनैश्च संग्रहैश्चान्यैः शक्रवै श्रवणोपमः यथा मनुर्महातेजा लोकस्य परिरक्षिता तथा दशरथो राजा वसन् जगदपालयत् तेन सत्याभिसन्धेन त्रिवर्गमनुतिष्ठता पालिता सा पुरी श्रेष्ठा इन्द्रेणेवामरावती तस्मिन् पुरवरे हृष्टा धर्मात्मानो बहुश्रुताः नरास्तुष्टा धनैस्वैस्वैः अलुब्धा सत्यवादिनः. 1.6.1 तस्यां पुर्यां अयोध्यायां वेदवित् सर्वसंग्रहः दीर्घदर्शी महातेजाः पौरजानपदप्रियः. तस्यां, in that, पुर्यां, in the city, अयोध्यायां, in Ayodhya, vedavit, knower of the Vedas, sarvasangrahah, collector of all the knowledge, or repository of all knowledge, dirghadarshi, far-sighted, mahatejaha, greatly resplendent, shining brilliantly, paurajana padapriyaha, paura, the city folk, janapada, the village country folk, priyaha, beloved to everybody. So in Ayodhya, what it is saying is, in Ayodhya lived a person who was a knower of all the Vedas, all encompassing in wisdom, far-sighted, radiant and beloved by everybody. It sets the tone for a city of great knowledge, wisdom and great leadership. 1.6.2 Ikshvakunam atiradho yajva dharmarato vasi. Ikshvakunam, of the Ikshvaku dynasty. Atiradha, a great chariot warrior. There are Atirathas and Maharathas. Atiratha is one of the biggest, the one that fights other Atirathas or chariot warriors, is called an Atiratha. Yajva, one who performs rituals or yajnas. Dharmarato vasi, devoted to righteousness. Maharshi kalpaha, equal to great sages. Rajarshihi, a sage-like king. Trishu lokeshu, in the three worlds, there are bhuhu, earth, bhuvaha, sky, heavens, or suvaha is space beyond the skies, vishrutaha, renowned. So in summary, this verse describes a king from the Ikshvaku dynasty, presumably King Dasharatha, as a great charioteer, devoted to righteousness, performer of rituals and who had a lot of self-control. He is revered as a sage-like king, renowned in all three worlds for his virtues. Balavan nihata mitro mitravan vijitendriya dhanaischa sangrahaischa anyaihi shakravai sravanopamaha. Balavan, powerful or strong. Nihata mitro, one who has subdued his enemies. Mitravan, friendly. Vijitendriya, one who has vijita indriya, one who has conquered his senses. Dhanaischa, with wealth. Sangrahaischa, he has acquisitioned that wealth or got the wealth. Anyaihi, other qualities as well, he has accumulated them. Sakravai Sravanopamaha, it's comparable. Sakravai Sravanopamaha, comparable to Indra and Kubera. This verse essentially speaks of the king's strength, his triumph over enemies, his friendly nature, his control over his senses. He is also described as wealthy and possessing other noble qualities, making him comparable to the gods, the king of gods and Kubera, the god of wealth. King of gods is Indra and Kubera, the god of wealth. Yatha manur mahateja lokasya parirakshita tatha dasaratho raja vasanjagada palayat. Yatha, just as Manu, who is supposed to have built the city of Ayodhya, Mahatejaha, greatly resplendent, brilliantly shining, Lokasya Parirakshita, Lokasya, of the world, Parirakshita, protector. Tatha, so, Raja Dasaratha, the king Dasaratha, Vasan Jagat, Vasan, living, Jagat, in the world, Apalayat, ruled. Essentially, this verse compares King Dasaratha to Manu, who is supposed to have built Ayodhya. Just as Manu was a great and wonderful protector of the world, King Dasaratha is also portrayed as a protector and ruler of his realm, ensuring peace and prosperity for all his people, all his subjects. Let's go to 1.6.5. Tena satyabhisandhena trivargam anutishthata palita sa puri sreshtha indreneva amaravati. Tena, by him, satyabhisandhena, somebody who is true to his promises, trivargam anutishthata, for trivarga, three goals, trivarga anutishthata, who follows the three goals of life. What are they? Dharma, artha, kama. Righteousness, artha, means, kama, desire, palita, protected, sa, that, puri, city, sreshtha, excellent, indreneva, like Indra's, Amaravati. Amaravati is the city of gods. Indra's abode is Amaravati. So like that. So in summary, this verse says King Dasaratha, true to his promises, and he adhered to the three goals of life, righteousness, wealth and desire or pleasure, protected and governed the city of Ayodhya. The city under his rule is compared to Amaravati, the city of the gods, as it was governed by Indra. 1.6.6. Tasmin puravare hrusta dharmatmano bahusrutaha narastushta dhanaisvaisvaihi alubdha satyavadinah. Tasmin, in that, puravare, best of cities, Ayodhya, hrusta, joyful, dharmatmano, righteous souls are righteous people, bahusrutaha, well learned, naraha, people, tushta, satisfied, dhanaihi, with wealth, swaihi, of their own, the wealth that they acquired of their own, alubdhaha, not greedy, satyavadinaha, truth speaking. So this verse portrays the citizens of Ayodhya as joyful, righteous and well learned. The people are described as being content with their wealth, not driven by greed and adhering to truthfulness. And it just paints a picture of a prosperous, harmonious and ethical society under King Dasaratha's rule. So these verses, all these verses that I just talked about, illustrate the ideal state of society under a just and virtuous ruler, the harmony, prosperity and moral integrity of the kingdom of Ayodhya. Let me go with 1.6.7 to 1.6.12. Nalpasannicheh kaschit asit tasmin purottame kutumbiyo hyasiddhardho gavaswadhanadhanyavan kami vana kadaryo va nushansah purushah kvachit drashtum shakyam ayodhyayan na vidvan na cha nastikah sarve narascha naryascha dharmasila susamyataah udita sila vrittabhyam maharshaya ivamalah na kundali na makuti na sragvi nalpabhogavan na mrushto nanuliptango na sugandhascha vidyate na mrushtabhoji na data napyanangada nishkadhruk na hastabharano vapi drusyate napyanatmavan नानाहिताग्निर्ना यज्वा न क्षुद्रो वा न तस्करः कश्चिदासीदयोध्यायान् न च निर्वृत्तसङ्करः. 1.6.7. नाल्पसन्निचयः कश्चित् आसीत् तस्मिन् पुरोत्तमे कुटुम्बीयो ह्यासिद्धार्थो गवाश्वधनधान्यवान्. न अल्पसन्निचयः, न not, alpa sannichaya. It's not small accumulations, not small accumulations, meaning nobody was poor. Kaschit, anyone, asit, was, tasmin, in that, purottame, the best city of Ayodhya, pura uttame, kutumbi, householder, kutumbiyo, householder who, hya siddhartha, not achieving the aims, siddha, somebody who is not achieving the aims, agavasva dhanadhanyavan, having cattle, horses, wealth and grain. So in summary, in the splendid city of Ayodhya, there was no one who was poor. Every householder had achieved their aims and possessed cattle, horses, wealth and grain. 1.6.8 Kamivana kadaryova nusamsah purushah kvachit drashtum sekyam ayodhyayan navidwan nacha nastikah. Kami, desirous, vana, or not, kadaryo va, miserly, or nusamsaha, cruel, purushaha, person, kvachit, anywhere, drashtum, to see, sekyam, possible, ayodhyayan, in Ayodhya, na vidwan, na avidwan, not uneducated, means everybody is educated, nacha nastikah, nor non-believer. Who is a non-believer? Who would have been a non-believer in those times? Possibly those that didn't believe in the in Vedas. Vedas are compendium of knowledge. So everybody has belief in and desired to make progress in their life. In Ayodhya, in summary, in Ayodhya it was impossible to find anyone who was miserly or cruel. Everyone was educated and there were no non-believers, indicating a society rooted in knowledge and faith. Pursuit of knowledge, that's important. 1.6.9 Sarve narascha naryascha dharmasila susamyataha udita sila vrittabhyam maharshaya ivamalaha. Sarve naraha, all men, cha naryaha, and women, dharmasilaha, virtuous in duty, susamyataha, samyataha, well controlled, samyata, uditaha, elevated, sila vrittabhyam, by good conduct, sila vritta abhyam, by good conduct and behavior, maharshaya, great sages, iva, like, amalaha, pure. In Ayodhya, all men and women were virtuous and well disciplined in their duties. Their conduct and behavior were exemplary and pure, that they were comparable to great sages, even the people themselves. Essentially, these verses paint a picture of Ayodhya as an ideal society, marked by prosperity, righteousness and education as well. 1.6.10 Na kundali namakuti, na sragvi nalpa bhogavan, na mrusto nanu liptango, na sugandhascha vidyate. Na kundali, not one without earrings. Na makuti, none without a crown. Na sragvi, none without a garland. Nalpa bhogavan, none who is not happy. Na mrusto, not unclean, means clean. Nanu liptango, none without anointed body. Na sugandha, none without fragrances. Cha vidyate, and exists. In Ayodhya, there was no one without ornaments like earrings or crowns, no one without garlands, and no one who didn't have a fulfilled, enjoyable life. People were clean, anointed, fragrant, they had fragrances all over them, indicating a society where personal adornment and cleanliness as well were valued. 1.6.11 Namrushta bhoji nadata napyanangada nishkadhruk nahastabharano vapi drusyate napyanatmavan. Nam amrushta bhoji, not one who eats unclean food. Nadata, not a non-donor. Napi, nar. Anangada nishkadhruk. Ana, not. Angada, without armlets or bracelets. Nishka is gold. Dhruk means bearing. Nahastabharano, not without hand ornaments. Hastabharana. Vapi, or drusyate, is seen. Napi, nar anatmavan, somebody who is selfish, not unselfish, or you don't see people who are selfish essentially. So in Ayodhya, no one consumed unclean food, everyone was generous. People had bangles, necklaces, hand ornaments, everyone was selfless. Highlights a community thriving in generosity, personal well-being and richness as well. 1.6.12 नानाहिताग्निर्ना यज्वा ना क्षुद्रो वा न तस्करः कश्चिदासीत् अयोध्यायां न च निर्वृत्तशङ्करः. Na anahitagni, one who has not kindled the sacred fire. Na yajva, not non-sacrificing. Na kshudro, nar petty. Va, or na, not. Taskaraha, thief. Kaschit, anyone. Asit, was. Ayodhyayam, in Ayodhya. Na, nar. Nirvrutta sankaraha, means free from unknown lineage. So what does it mean? It means that everyone knows their lineage, where they come from. It's not like, people are born out of wedlock. So, in Ayodhya, everyone kindled the sacred fire and participated in these sacrificial offerings in the fire. There were no petty individuals or thieves, and the society was free from people who have unknown lineages, and reflects a culture deeply rooted in religious practices and social order. Let's go from 1.6.13 to 1.6.18. Swakarma nirata nityam brahmana vijitendriyaah danaadhyayanaशीलाश्च samyatascha parigrahe na nastiko na nrutako na kaschidabahushrutah na suyako na chasyakto na vidwan vidyate tada na षडंग vidatrasin na vrato na sahasradah न दीनक्षिप्तचित्तो वा व्यथितो वापि कश्चन कश्चिन्नरो वा नारी वा न श्रीमान्नाप्यरूपवान् द्रष्टुं शक्यमयोध्यायां नापि राजन्यभक्तिमान् वर्णेष्वग्र्यचतुर्थेषु देवतातिथिपूजकाः कृतज्ञाश्च वदन्याश्च शूरा विक्रमसंयुताः दीर्घायुषो नराः सर्वे धर्मं सत्यं च संस्थिताः सहिताः पुत्रपौत्रैश्च नित्यं स्त्रीभिः पुरोत्तमे. 1.6.13 स्वकर्म निरता नित्यं ब्राह्मणा विजितेन्द्रियाः दानाध्ययनशीलाश्च सम्यताश्च परिग्रहे. Swakarma nirata, Swakarma translates to devoted to their own duties. This term refers to individuals who are like steadfast in performing their responsibilities and roles in life. Nityam means always or continuously. Brahmana refers to the class, learned class in the society, known for their spiritual and educational domains, the leadership in those domains. Vijitendriyaha, it's a compound. Vijita Indriya means who have controlled their senses. Danadhyayana Silascha, Dana, charity, Adhyayana, study or learning, Sila, nature, habit, behavior, suggesting these individuals are habituated to giving and studying as part of their nature. Samyatascha parigrahe. Samyata means restraining the senses. With parigrahe means in possessions, whatever is there, they are they are restrained in all their material acquisitions as well. So in summary, Brahmins in that society were always engaged in their prescribed duties. They possessed self-control and led lives characterized by learning, charity and moderation in possessions. It's highly ideal qualities of the learned class or the leadership class. Na nastiko na nrutako na kaschid abahushrutah na suyako na chasekto na vidwan vidyate tada. 1.6.14. Na nastiko, not an atheist. Na anrutako, anruta, nor a liar. Na kaschid abahushrutah, nor anyone. Abahushrutah means bahushrutah means learned, well learned. Abahushrutah means who is not well learned, nor anyone uninformed or somebody who is not learned. You cannot find them. Na suyako, na asuyako, not envious. Na cha sekto, nor incapable, nor and cha asekto, incapable. Na vidwan vidyate tada. Na vidwan, nor was there anyone without knowledge at that time. So this verse describes the high moral and intellectual standards of Ayodhya's inhabitants. It states that there were no liars, no non-believers, no envious people or those lacking in knowledge and capability. Everyone was well informed and virtuous, contributing to a harmonious and enlightened society. Now let's go to the next verse, 1.6.15. Na shadanga vidatrasin na vrato na sahasradaha nadina kshipta chitto va vyathito vapi kaschana. Na shadanga vid means not ignorant of the six Vedas, the traditional knowledge, Vedangas, six Vedangas. Atrasin was not present. Navrataha, not without some, na vrataha, somebody who is not without vows or who observes things, observances, who does observances or does rituals. Na sahasradaha, not one who gives, who is not generous. Nadina, not downtrodden or miserable. Na dinaha, kshipta chittova, nor without a disturbed mind. Vyathito vapi, nor distressed. Kaschana, anyone. So this verse describes citizens of Ayodhya as well versed in essential branches of knowledge, adherent to their vows, generous, content, mentally stable. No one was distressed or troubled, indicating a society that is harmonious, knowledgeable and fulfilled. Kaschinnaro va nariva na sriman napya rupavan drastum sekyam ayodhyayam napi rajanya bhaktiman. 1.6.16. Kaschinnaro va nariva, no man or woman, na sriman, not without sri, wealth, not without wealth, napya rupavan, nor without beauty, drastum sekyam ayodhyayam, could be seen in Ayodhya, drastum, could be seen in Ayodhya, napi rajanya bhaktiman, na api, nor without bhaktiman, rajanya bhaktiman, devotion to the king. This depicts the people of Ayodhya as being blessed with wealth, grace and beauty. It was impossible to find anyone in Ayodhya who lacked these qualities or the devotion or respect towards the king. Essentially it's respect, illustrating a society marked by prosperity. 1.6.17. Varneshvagya chaturtheshu devata tithi pujakaha kritagnyascha vadanyascha sura vikrama samyutaha. Varneshu, among the Varnas, Agriya Chaturdheshu, foremost among the four, Devata Tidhi Pujakaha, they are worshippers of gods and guests as well. Krutagnya, grateful, Cha and Vadanya, generous, Cha and Suraha, brave, Shuraha, brave, Vikrama Samyutaha, endowed with valor. So the verse describes the noble qualities of people in Ayodhya. Their piety, hospitality, gratitude, generosity, bravery as well. 1.6.18. Dirghayusho naras sarve dharmam satyamcha samsritaha sahitaha putra pautraischa nityam stribhihi purottame. Dirghayusho, long lived, naraha, men, sarve, all, dharmam, righteousness, satyam, truth, cha, and samsritaha, somebody who is adhering to, sahitaha, accompanied by, putra pautrai, sons and grandsons, cha, and nityam, always, stribhihi, by women, purottame, in the best city of Ayodhya. This verse highlights the longevity of the inhabitants. It's important as inhabitants to be able to live long, healthy, their steadfast commitment to dharma, truth, harmonious family life within the city, and the constant presence of sons, grandsons and women depict that. Let me go from 1.6.19 to 1.6.24. Kshatram Brahma Mukhanchasit Vaishyah Kshatramanuvrataah Shudras Swadharma Nirataah Trin Varnanupacharinaha Sate Nekshvakunathena Puri Suparirakshita Yatha Purasthan Manuna Manavendrena Dhimata Yodhanam Agnikalpanam Peshalanam Amarshinam Sampurna Kruta Vidyanam Guha Kesarinamiva Kambhoja Vishaye Jatair Bahlikais Vanayujair Nadijaischa Purna Harihayottamaihi Vindhya Parvata Jair Mattaihi Purna Haimavatairapi Madanvitair Atibalair Matangaihi Parvatopamaihi Airavata Kulinaischa Mahapadmakulais Tatha Anjanadapi Nishpannair Vamanadapi Jadvipaihi. 1.6.19. Kshatram Brahma Mukhanchasit Vaishyah Kshatramanuvrataah Shudra Swadharma Nirata Trin Varnan Upacharinaha. Kshatram, warrior class. Brahma Mukham, the face of Brahma, Brahmins. Vaishyah, the Vaishyas. Kshatram Anuvrataha followed the Kshatriyas. So Kshatram, the warrior class, followed the face of Brahma, Brahma Mukham, and then Kshatram Anuvrataha followed the Shudraha followed the Kshatriyas. Swadharma Nirata, devoted to their own duties. Trin Varnan Upacharanaha, serving the three Varnas. So this verse basically describes the social structure of Ayodhya. In fact, any structure in the world even today, where each class adhered to its duties, with Vaishyas and Sudras supporting the other Varnas in their respective professions. I think I need to explain Varnas again. In one of the earlier episodes, I tried to explain it. Some people may think it is caste. I don't think they understand it. Kshatriyas, who are Kshatriyas? They are the military. Brahmins, who are they? Anyone who is a knowledge or thought leader. Right now, the CEOs, the ones that are in the leadership, they are the thought leaders. They are the Brahmins. Vaishyas, traders, agriculturists, and other occupations. Shudras, anyone in the service sector, today's IT sector, manufacturing sector, tourism and transportation sectors, etc. These divisions in occupations exist even today. When the society went through hardships and intense strife, there are people who took advantage, and that got ossified over time. It is just that we have regained the mobility that was envisioned initially. That is irrespective of birth. You are in a certain occupation. Varna system is nothing but an occupational system. Lineage, however, jati is different. I come from a family of bankers. My parents, they come from the family of clerks. My grandfathers came from priestly class. So you may ask, what do I consider myself as? I am a Shudra. I wear it as a badge of honor. I am in the service sector. Nothing wrong with that. So by occupation, I am a Shudra. By lineage, I am a Brahmin. 1.6.20 Sate nekshvakunathena puri suparirakshita yatha purasthan manuna manavendrena dhimata. Sa, that, Puri, city, suparirakshita, well protected, yatha, just as, purasthan manuna, by the ancient Manu, manavendrena, the king among men, dhimata, the wise. Ayodhya was well protected under the wise king Ikshvaku, just as the ancient cities were under the sagacious king, a king who is sage-like, Manu. Yodhanam agnikalpanam, 1.6.21 Yodhanam agnikalpanam peshalanam marshinam sampurnakrita vidyanam guha kesarinamiva. Yodhanam, of warriors, agnikalpanam, like fire, peshalanam, skilled, amarshinam, fierce, sampurna, complete, kruta vidyanam, accomplished in knowledge, kruta vidyanam, guha kesarinamiva. Guha, like a cave, kesari, lions, kesarinamiva, like a cave full of lions. Ayodhya was filled with warriors who were fierce like fire, skilled and fierce in battle, yet accomplished in knowledge. It's like a den of mighty lions. The metaphor highlights the city's strength and valor. Let's talk about the verse 1.6.22. Kambhoja vishaye jatair Bahlikaischa hayottamaihi Vanayujair nadijaischa purna hari hayottamaihi. Kambhoja vishaye, in the region of Kambhoja, jatair, born or produced, lineage again. Bahlikaischa, by the Bahlikas. Hayottamaihi, the finest horses. Haya means horse. Hayottamaihi, finest horses. Vanayujaihi, forest bred. Nadijaischa, and river born. Purna, filled. Hari hayottamaihi, with the best of tawny horses. Tawny means a mix of orange, yellow and brown. Yellowish brown, orangish brown, so many colors possible for the horses, right? This verse describes Ayodhya as a city filled with the finest horses born in the Kambhoja region, reared by the Bahlikas, including those that are forest bred and river born, and emphasizing the city's wealth and the high quality of its cavalry. Now, where is Kambhoja and where are these Bahlikas from? Here is some interesting stuff. I found a map from 500 BCE where Mahajanapadas that were mentioned in Mahabharata epic can be seen. The Kambhoja region is traditionally identified with areas of ancient Central Asia, particularly around modern-day Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan, and parts of Kazakhstan and Afghanistan, then Gandhara. Now I am saying Kambhoja instead of Kambhoja because that is how it is pronounced per Sanskrit. They are frequently mentioned in ancient Indian literature as a warrior tribe and were considered part of the Uttarapadha or the northern territories. The Kambhojas played significant roles in various historical and mythological narratives, including their participation in the Kurukshetra war of the Mahabharata. Even in that epic, they were known for their excellent breed of horses and their expertise in horse warfare. Now, the Bahlikas were an ancient people often associated with the region of Bactria, which corresponds to parts of modern-day northern Afghanistan and Tajikistan. They were known for rearing horses and are mentioned in various contexts, including in relation to their participation in the Great War of the Mahabharata. In some texts, they are described as being related to Vrishinis, a clan to which Lord Krishna belonged. So they are connected, they were always connected. Most historians believe that Ramayana happened before Mahabharata, as do the Indian texts. Magadha in the map is already a prominent center, while it was not during the Ramayana period. We just know the historical record from about 800 BCE regarding Magadha, but the map still shows Kambhoja and the Bahlikas. It establishes that there was no need for some kind of invasion or migration from the north. They always had a trade with Kambhoja region for the finest horses, even during the Ramayana period, much before Magadha became prominent. Even Harappans also traded with them. They are not that far away from Tajikistan or Kyrgyzstan. You see what inference I am drawing here. 1.6.23 Vindhya Parvata Jairmattaihi Purna Haimavatairapi Madanvitair Atibalair Matangaihi Parvatopamaihi Vindhya Parvata Jaihi Vindhya Parvata, in those born in the Vindhya mountains. Mattaihi, intoxicated or in rut almost. Purna, full. Haimavatairapi, Haimavata, it's Himalayas, from those from the Himalayas. Madanvitair, filled with vigor. Atibalair, extremely powerful. Matangaihi, elephants. Parvatopamaihi, comparable to mountains. This verse describes Ayodhya as filled with mighty elephants, as strong as the mountains from both the Vindhya and the Himalayan ranges, showcasing the city's majesty and strength. 1.6.24 Airavata Kulinaischa Mahapadma Kulaistatha Anjanadapi Nishpannair Vamanadapi Chattvipaihi. Airavata Kulinaischa, from the lineage of Airavata. Remember, this is Kula. Kula is lineage. Mahapadma Kulaistatha, from the lineage of the Padma. Anjanadapi, also from Anjana. Nishpannair, produced. Vamanadapi, also from Vamana. Cha Dvipaihi, and by elephants. It elaborates on the noble lineage of elephants in Ayodhya, tracing back to mythical and revered origins of Airavata. Airavata was the elephant of Indra, and Padma, adding to the city's grandeur. Let me take you through the most interesting part of this particular Sarga, from 1.6.25 to 1.6.28. Bhadrair mandrair mrugaishchaiva bhadra mandra mrugaisthatha bhadra mandrair bhadra mrugair mruga mandraischa sapuri nityamattais sada purna nagairachala sannibhaihi sayojane cha dve bhuyah satyanama prakashate yasyam dasharatho raja vasan jagadapalayat tam purim samahateja raja dasharatho mahan शशास वै शमिता मित्रो नक्षत्राणीव चन्द्रमाः तां सत्यनामां दृढतोरणार्गलां गृहैर्विचित्रैर् उपशोभितां शिवां पुरीमयोध्यां नृसहस्रसङ्कुलां शशास वै शक्रसमो महीपतिः शशास वै शक्रसमो महीपतिः. 1.6.25 Bhadrair mandrair mrugaishchaiva Bhadra mandra mrugaisthatha Bhadramandrair Bhadramrugair Mrugamandraischa Sapuri Nityamattai Sadapurna Nagair Achala Sannibhaihi. Bhadrair, Bhadra means protective. By protective elephants. Mandrair means what? Gentle. Gentle elephants. Mrugaihi, wild elephants. Chaiva, and also Bhadra Mandra Mrugais, interbreeding of protective, gentle and wild ones. Tatha. So likewise, Bhadramandrair, the combination of the offspring of protective and gentle elephants. Bhadramrugair, offsprings of protective and wild elephants. Mrugamandrai, by the offspring of wild and gentle elephants. Cha and Sapuri, Sapuri, that city. Nityam, always. Mattaihi, intoxicated. Sada, talking about the elephants. Always. Purna, full. Nagair, with elephants. Achala Sannibhaihi, resembling like immovable mountains. These elephants were so massive. This verse describes Ayodhya as being perpetually filled with various types of majestic elephants. Bhadra meaning protective, Mandra meaning gentle, Mruga means wild, and their interbred offsprings. These elephants, likened to immovable mountains in their grandeur, contributed to the city's vibrant and dynamic atmosphere. And what does it tell us? This is the most exciting part. Essentially, this portion is talking about one of the oldest written experiments on interbreeding among animals and an artificial creation of genetic diversity. Well, you know, I was looking up and I happened to also come across this interesting paper, recent paper, about genetic diversity of elephants in India and how to conserve them. Now, let us take a look at this research paper published by Rahul Day, Rita Sharma and co. in Global Ecology and Conservation. The title of the paper is Pan-India Population Genetics Signifies the Importance of Habitat Connectivity for Wild Asian Elephant Conservation. This study aimed to understand genetic diversity and structure of wild Asian elephant populations across 4 ecoregions in India. In the face of a significant population decline, apparently the population declined by 70% in 60 years, and habitat loss of about more than 40%. By 2070, due to climate change, we will apparently lose. They genotyped 169 fecal samples across 14 microsatellites, satellite regions. The research identified moderate genetic diversity levels that vary between regions, significant genetic differentiation, and 3 major genetic clusters in India. The finding suggests barriers to gene flow, possibly due to natural and anthropogenic factors, and it highlights the areas with high inbreeding and potential genetic discontinuity. So, this study apparently was the first comprehensive assessment of genetic diversity and conservation needs of Asian elephants across India's 4 bioclimatic regions. So, it reveals that substructuring within the population. So, remember 3, right? Are they Bhadra, Mandra, Mruga? I do not know. The research prioritized conservation units based on their contribution to global genetic diversity, demographics, existing connectivity, and vulnerability to climate change induced habitat loss, advocating for protection of identified corridors to ensure effective elephant conservation. So, what were these people doing in Ramayana? It was a type of artificial genetic conservation. Elephants were the pride of the city of Ayodhya. It might be interesting if someone does genetic studies of their lineages per se. What are these Bhadra, Mandra, Mruga type elephants? And when did this first large scale genetic diversity expansion take place? That might give us a clue of the age of when Ramayana was written. I keep telling this, our ancients didn't live in huts and cottages while they wrote Ramayana. They had examples of the cities. It has to be somewhere in the Harappan civilization, easily before 2200 BCE, because it was an urban civilization. Post 2200 to 700 BCE, currently attributed to Ramayana seems incorrect to me, but these genetic studies of elephants could provide an important clue. Let's go to 1.6.26. Sa yojane cha dve bhuyah satyanama prakashate yasyam dasaratho raja vasan jagada palayat. Sa, that, yojane cha dve bhuyah, and 2 yojanas more, satyanama prakashate, truthfully shines, yasyam, in which dasaratho raja, the king Dasaratha, vasan, resided, Jagadapalayat, protected the world, protected the place, realm. Essentially, this verse says that Ayodhya, where Dasaratha ruled, shines so brightly that you can see its sheen even from 2 yojanas outside Ayodhya's perimeter. Remember the perimeter of Ayodhya we talked about, 12 yojanas in length and 3 yojanas in breadth. 1.6.27 ताम पुरीं स महातेजा राजा दशरथो महान शशास शमितामित्रो नक्षत्राणीव चंद्रमाः. ताम पुरीं, that city, sa mahateja, that great resplendent, raja dasaratho mahan, the great king Dasaratha. Shashasa, ruled. Shemitamitro, having subdued enemies. Nakshatraniva chandramaha, like the moon among the stars. In this verse, the king Dasaratha, who is described to be ruling Ayodhya, who can vanquish his enemies, shines brightly like the moon amidst the stars. 1.6.28 ताम सत्यनामाम दृढ़तोरणार्गलाम गृहैर विचित्रैर उपशोभिताम शिवाम पुरीम अयोध्याम सहस्र संकुलाम शशास वै शक्रसमो महीपति. ताम, that, Satyanamam, true to its name, Drudhatoranaargalam, Drudhatorana, strong gates and latches. Drudhatoronar galam, latches. Gruhair vichitrair, splendid houses. Upashobhitam, decorated or beautified. Shivam, auspicious. See, even in this, it is termed Shivam means auspicious. Rama breaks Shiva's bow. I am hearing controversies of Shiva being Dravidian and Rama being Aryan. All this is nonsense. Rama worshipped Shiva. He broke Shiva's bow. Whose bow did he break? It was Shiva's bow. And he bows in front of him. Shiva and Vishnu are the same. There are no Aryans and Dravidians. Anyway, coming back, Purim Ayodhyam, the city of Ayodhya, Nusahasra Sankulam, teeming with thousands of people. Sashasa, ruled. Why? Indeed. Shakrasamo, comparable to Indra. Mahipatihi, the ruler of the earth. This verse describes the city of Ayodhya, true to its name. It has strong gates, latches, and splendid houses, beautifully decorated, and making it an auspicious place. It was teeming with thousands of people. They are all ruled by the great king Dasaratha, whose governance was comparable to that of Indra, the king of gods. Ayodhya under his rule was a prosperous and secure realm. Ityarshe Srimad Ramayane Valmikiya Adikavye Balakande Shashtas Sarga. Here's the end of the 6th Sarga of Balakanda of Ramayana, a composition of sage Valmiki, the first epic known to mankind. Thank you for staying with me. I am your host Hemant. If you like this episode, please like, share and subscribe to the channel and watch the variety of content that is part of this channel. Thank you so much.